Reagan Riddle counts himself privileged to have traveled the country with the Primitive Quartet for 50 years. "I never dreamed I'd be singing and doing what I love so much," he said. Glenn and Lois of Marshall, North Carolina, welcomed their firstborn, Reagan, on June 30, 1946. They instilled in him and siblings, Larry, Mike, Darren, and Geneva Lou, godly values, a good work ethic, and gospel music. At age 6, his family moved to the town of Candler, and there attended Maple Ridge Baptist Church. When 12, Reagan met Jesus and gave him his heart and his life. A favorite family memory of his is the day his dad presented him with his first Gibson Factory left-handed guitar. Unknowingly, that gift would set a course Reagan would follow for the next 60 years. Here's the story. In 1973, Reagan and brother Larry joined brothers Norman and Furman Wilson on a fishing trip to Fontana Lake. Around an evening campfire, they played and sang shape-note gospel songs. Remember those? Somewhat surprised at their harmonious sound, they sang on. And that night, before the fire embers faded, the Riddle-Wilson Quartet was born. Few had imagined God would use some fishermen and music by campfire to begin a ministry lasting a half-century long. They began singing in churches, and they also changed their name to the Primitives. When Furman Wilson needed to leave, feeling God's call to preach, Reagan's brother Mike, with his unique guitar styling, joined. The Spirit blessed, word traveled, and their schedule grew. By 1978, they found themselves in a full-time ministry. The Primitives' unique sound caught the ear of Martin Cook of the Inspirations. Invited to join them, their first bus trip was to Logan, West Virginia, to sing to an audience of 3,000 plus. When finished, Reagan says it was as if heaven fell on that service. People were shouting all over the place. In 1981, they started Hominy Valley Singing, held the 4th of July weekend. For 41 years, those hills were alive with the sound of music, songs such as Because He Loved Me, Flowers We Love, Glory Land, No Longer an Orphan, and My Hope Is in the Blood, the last two being penned by Reagan. Just this May, the Primitives officially retired. They will be missed. Today, Reagan is on to his next adventure. He and Brandon Cairns have formed a duet ministry and just finished their first project titled Reagan and Brandon. Describing Brandon's talents, he says, he can sing like Norman and play like Mike. I can't wait to hear. He married his sweetheart Joyce in 1962. They're blessed with daughters Tracy, married to Reverend Jim Dykes, and Tammy, married to Primitive member Randy Fox. They have 6 marvelous grandchildren and 4 adorable greats. Reagan would like to be remembered as having finished well. Until then, he says, I'm going to sing my songs with stringed instruments in the house of the Lord as long as I live. And, he adds, that's in the Bible. Today, SGMA gladly inducts Reagan Riddle into the Hall of Fame. Imagine a fisherman with a song.